Good morning, everyone. All right, today, we're going to be moving these solar panels to their new temporary home. This was a temporary home we had set up for the winter. We got our angle at 60 degrees. We just welded it to the top of the Connex. These are very large solar panels. We built this frame. We just hold it out there right now. It's welded up to the Connex. I don't know if you can see that or not. Just welded right to it and it moves back and forth. It's adjustable on hinges. When we installed them on the shipping container, we were trying to cut fuel costs. The sun was really high in the sky and the ground was frozen. There was no way for us to build a solar array or even get to the wood that we would be able to mill until about now, unfortunately. But we fabricated this out of steel. We put some hinges on it so that we could catch the angles. Corey's going to move it back and forth so you can see that. It hinges up and down. That's something that we fabricated all the way. We can lift it all the way up, whatever angle. It's welded to the Connex. It's pretty solid. But we have to frame this side in, so we have to move the solar panels. In Alaska, this is known as a standing dead tree. It's about perfectly cured. So sometimes they're really good to mill, sometimes they're not. This would make a really good slab, but it has some checking in it and a blowout from where it broke. So it's a reject off the mill, but we took the standing dead trees down and milled them into slabs where we made things like this. This is rejects off the end of it, a little bit soft, but that isn't all the way out. This one has a nasty check all the way through it. Really bad. All the way up. So it's we'll get some 2x4s out of it maybe. 2x6s, but no structural posts. And the birches sometimes are a little hollow, as you can see here. Thought that was going to be our live edge, unfortunately. But anyway, we still got these to do, and we're going to turn it into something really special. That tree that you just seen over there is now a solar array, so that we can finish moving our solar panels to the correct location that suits us a little better. We milled them all out into slabs. We cut them into dimensional lumber. We cut our angles. We put braces on it. It's about 10 foot tall by 5 foot to here. You can see 1 2x4, 2 2x4s are all we use from the local hardware store. Everything else is standing dead and off the forest floor. And this is where we're going to put it. We're going to take it from right over there to right over here. This is facing true south, and it should work fairly well. All right, so we moved that from off the Connex there to over here, and this is where we're going to install the rack that we welded up back in February, April. We made this here. It's not the best welding. It's pretty cold. Running on generator, but I welded this in here with a double tab for the hinge to hold it on the top. It moves back and forth. I just cut that off. Frame over top of that, and it's going to install all the way up to the top to hold the panels. We drilled some holes, as you can see here, to be able to mount the solar panels together and bolt them into the frame. And now we're going to bolt the frame up there and put the solar panels back in it. going to go ahead and set the wires in, get everything set up, wired back into the house. We have it installed now. I'll show you the specs on the panels after we get it wired up.
Alright, so time together first. On we go. One go, and then that head goes to your end, and this head goes. And then we'll go check our polarity. Yeah. Good. I'll go check the polarity.
Watt.
500 watts?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Alright, so we can just rig the wires with the zip strips.
Yeah.
We'll coil them back to themselves and tie them up like this here.
Yeah.
You know, it's live now. So. Zip strip it back to itself if we coil it up.
Yeah.
Just wind it up and I'll zip strip here. Try to wind it up best I can. This will give me some get the little ladder.
There you go.
Alright,
There you go, I got it.
you got it.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yep.
And we can have access to all the connections.
And everything's up, not just dangly all over the place.
That's on the screws. Alright.
We got that all wired up. Here are the specs I was going to show you guys. Alright, so we got that all wired up and set in place. And we did that. We bolted them both together here. You can see the bolts that we placed through here to put them together. I put self-tapping screws in here to hold it back down to the metal along that edge and all the way up there as well and to the top. So
Have that windbreak of the Connex like it used to.
no.
It's definitely got strapped down pretty good.
So we did that. We got her up there. And it's running into a 60 amp Rover. And right now it's pushing out about 500 and some watts at 4:25 p.m. in Alaska.
Let me go get you on that right now.
488, almost 500 watts.